Okay, so in this video, hopefully you already know the basics of how bearings work. We're going to look at the harder question of, okay, you've gone in a certain direction because we know that's what bearings are, right? They just tell us a direction. Now we want to get back to where we started. So let's look at the hypothetical scenario where our hero is a hobbit. And here he is. We're looking at him from above. He's standing right there. I'm going to throw in our compass bearings straight away because we know that this is a bearings question. And let's say this hobbit hypothetically travels on a bearing of, let's go 150 degrees capital T, because he's trying to get to the south farthing or something like that. All right, this is the direction he's traveling in. Okay, so what's that going to look like in terms of our compass diagram? So the hobbit starts off facing due north. All right, there he is there. Now, obviously he isn't going north, right? 150 degrees capital T is not north. That would be like 0, 0, 0 degrees, right? Zero rotation, he just goes straight up. Now, he's not moving anywhere yet. We've just got to turn him into the right direction, right? And that's what the bearing does. We need to rotate 150 degrees. Okay, so let's start turning our hobbit here. There's 90 degrees. We need like an extra, what is that, like 60 degrees? Okay, this sort of a rotation here. So now the hobbit is facing in this direction. And if the hobbit then went on that particular journey, this is the direction he's traveling in. This is 150 degrees true bearing. All right, so the hobbit's gone for a walk on a bearing of 150 degrees, and he's ended up down here. Now, the whole point of this video here is us learning how to work out the bearing that gets him back to his original position. Well, what you're actually doing is trying to find a whole completely new bearing. So if you want to find a new bearing, you're actually going to need to create a new north-south line from where you're starting from. You actually create the east and west as well if you want. It's not necessary, and it probably makes it look a little bit extra messy, but you know, lots of people will do the whole compass thing every time. All right, so the hobbit for this, he's standing right there. That's where he is. And this is the guy that we need to get back home. He needs to travel back up this direction, back up the way he came, right? So if you're trying to find that bearing, again, we know how true bearings work. You start facing due north, and we've got to rotate him clockwise until he's facing the correct direction. There's 90-degree rotation. There's 180. There's 270. Plus, we need a bit extra there. All right, so we've got 90, 180, 270. The only thing we really need to find is just this missing angle right here. Well, how are we going to do it? Let me just write these angles in. There's 90 there. There's another 90 here. There's another 90 here. And for this final part, question mark. All right, so we're going to have to use the angle that we already have in our diagram. This was 150. So of that 150, this here would be the 90 up here in this part, and the 60 would be the part down here, right? We've split up the 150 into its two parts. Well, again, using that whole alternate angle thing from year 7, we've got two parallel lines. They make a Z shape. Hopefully you guys can see the Z shape here without the diagram becoming too messy. If that's 60, due to alternate angles, this will also be 60 degrees. So the bearing that's going to get the hobbit back to his original location, right, again, will just be the angle you're rotating from north. which was the 90, the 90, the other 90, and there was an extra 60. So what do you end up with? 270 plus an extra 60. That is the angle that the Hobbit would need to rotate 330 degrees rotation for him to then be facing the right direction, where he can then travel back up to his original position. All right, thanks.